I've got Ken Hall sitting here, and the two of us are going to negotiate this contract. We're very, very proud that this week we had, last week we had rank and file members in from all over the country, UPS Freight. We had leadership in, we've done surveys. We have a pretty good idea where we want to go with this contract. And it's going to be, basically, we think we can get a good contract, but it's going to be more wages, it's going to be more pensions, and I think pensions are going to be an important level. We want to maintain health care. Health care is, in this day and age, is tremendously important to families. They have to have health care for their families, for their wives, for their children, and that's going to be very, very important. We think those are the issues. We think we can get it. And the important thing is we're always working to make sure we get more full-time jobs also. Because as you know, there's a lot of part-time there, and we want to make sure to keep moving that number up because that really is important to our members.
Overnight freight was organized by your successor. How many members have you organized among freight haulers since you became president?
Well, I hate to correct you, but we organized overnight. And overnight, it turned into UPS Freight. And with the great assistance of my Secretary-Treasurer, Ken Hall, our union tried to organize overnight when it was just overnight, and we spent millions of dollars trying to organize, and we were not successful. And then, lo and behold, UPS bought them. And we were able to talk to UPS to say that if we can show that the members want to join the union and do a card check agreement, would you go along? And they went along with that, and we went out and talked to the members, and for the first time, over 12,000 members at UPS Freight are now Teamsters, and we're very, very proud of it. That's a major accomplishment.
Other than pay and benefits, what issues will be the most difficult to negotiate in the next National Master of Freight Agreement?
Well, I think that the issues are, there are issues everywhere. I mean, the UPS is a unique company. Obviously, it's wages, hours, and working conditions. We want to make sure conditions are better. We want to make sure that we maintain our benefits. We want to make sure that we maintain our number of full-time workers. But I think also today, with UPS, we're going to make sure that we work on health care, which is extremely important to members and their families, and also pensions. The fact is, when you have people making good wages and they get a little bit older, they start thinking, well, maybe the next money we get should go into pensions. And I think there's going to be a lot of pressure to increase our pensions to make them better. And the answer is everybody's interested in more money when you retire because they see what's going on in America. So we're one place that people will get good pensions, but it's our goal to try and get them even better pensions. So I would say the pension will be one of the big issues in the negotiations.
What should be done to strengthen and protect these pension plans?
Well, pension funds are difficult right now. I mean, it's no secret, and all you have to do is read the paper, that as pension funds mature, it's important to get new employers in. And with the recession and the crash, the Bush crash of 08, it's very, very difficult to grow the pension funds. And what we're having and what we're seeing with pension funds is, something that we didn't see years back. When my father, first set up the Central States Pension Fund, there was like 4 people working and 1 person retired, if anybody was retired. Well, that was easy because then it's easy to get done. Now, as the pension funds have matured, we have, 1 guy working and 5 guys retired. And that math is hard to maintain. And so you have to rely on the stock market. You have to rely on different ways to get money to make sure you keep the benefits up. But unless we get new people in, it's very difficult to maintain these pension funds the way they are. So what we need to do is to have more employers coming in to maintain and get more people working. So to make sure that ratio isn't 1 to 5, the opposite way. 1 to 5 is hard to maintain.
The Teamsters have been under a consent decree since 1989. When do you think it will be lifted?
Well, hopefully soon. I mean, we've been working on this for a long time. We're under a consent decree, and the consent decree, has been on since 1989. We would like to see it lifted. We're talking to the government about it. Our union is a clean union, and there's no corruption in our union. We are democratic, we're more democratic than almost any other union. We just went through another cycle of elections. So I don't know what else that there is to be done. And we're looking forward to settling our case. This has to be, our consent decree has to be one of the oldest cases on the docket. And you would think that somebody would want to settle it and make it go away. We're ready to enter into a very good settlement for both sides, and both of us declare victory.
How hard is it on a day-to-day basis for the union to operate under the consent decree and its negative publicity?
Consent decree?
Yeah, how hard is it?
The consent decree really doesn't impact the daily operations of the union. And they're reporting, it's an elaborate thing. It probably costs us $3-4 million a year. But the daily operations of the union are not affected. Now, the amount of money that we have to pay to maintain the apparatus established by the consent decree is something that I wish would go away, because we could put that money into organizing, and we could organize even more people.